evening. I think this twice a day thing is getting a little too much, but hey, it's for those who appreciate it. I hope you do. I was actually asked if I would continue doing these logs or just logging my progress, just if it wasn't public or just recorded like this. And I had to think about it. I would. I committed to just kind of keeping track of what my progress is, but I'm doing it more publicly to really practice being in public. And um, actually, I really want to improve my marketing skills. And I'm not entirely sure if I'm getting better at it, but I'm putting myself out there and I'm learning different things and absorbing it from different people. Today, I'll just recap on the conversation we had earlier in the Twitter Spaces. Was really nice meeting up with people building in Bitcoin. I know there's a few others there, but this one's special because it's in Vancouver. Um, in many ways, home to very early Bitcoin adopters and a lot of passionate individuals that just drive, drive us forward. But basically, what did we talk about? We talked about a lot about Lightning, actually, Taproot assets. We talked about the vending machine out um, at Decontrol and how the Lightning payments are not working on it for some reason, even though Solana Pay or Ethereum payments do work. And that's shocking, surprising, kind of sad. So we're going to fix that. We're going to make sure that Bitcoin is back and you can, purchase, they offer drinks, basically. You can purchase drinks from that vending machine. And other than that, we talked about the OpCat, no, OpCat, CTV, all the updates that are proposed to the Bitcoin protocol. It seems like OpCat's not likely to be approved, although CTV and something else has a better chance. Meanwhile, the whole op return subject that was very exciting to the community. It's funny. I think the conversation is kind of dying down, which is nice, and also, well, people that I spoke with for devs, from a dev perspective, it's like more data, better. It was already in the protocol. It was just something that they chose to allow more easily. Just made it easier. It's not like couldn't have done it before. So, yeah, that's about it. I think at the end of the day, it's about giving people choice, and if people want to pay for the data that they put on the blockchain, go for it. People have been putting marriage certificates and child birth certificates on it already. So, and they used a chain of transactions to do that. Now you can do it in one, hopefully. The LIFO actually put up like a huge 1 megabyte picture JPEG into the op return. That was cool. Other things we talked about was just the relevance of stablecoins on Lightning and how you can't really use Lightning specifically to lock up collateral or Bitcoin and stuff like that. And really it's about transmitting payments. And in general, it's going to be KYC'd, and the retail appeal for Taproot USDT seems to be much less than institutional. It makes more sense for institutionals to use. And I think we're just going to continue to see that divide between institutional and retail usage. It's just a part of how things are in our world. Like, you have accredited investors and non-accredited investors and retail investors, basically, and you only really meet in the public markets. In many ways, it is to protect people. And we have blurred those lines recently, but I think that's just a natural way of things. We are going to have that distinction even moving forward as we keep improving. But I could be wrong. So that was also discussed. And also, it led to just conversations about exit, right? Like, what price are you exiting or taking profits on Bitcoin, for example, or what what alternatives do you have to that? Like, is it better to sell or borrow and then risk the price just like crashing down on you and not having enough capital to like prop it up? And we did like some quick maths on that. I think that was just in the conversation afterwards. And then um, I think the big gap that we kind of see is that there's not much like dev support or dev um, funding or like events, and we'd like to kind of really kick start that off in the Bitcoin, like Bitcoin L1 development, right? It's a lot in the Bitcoin L2s and stuff, and the other chains that have funds, and they really kind of push this. But Bitcoin L1 or just like Lightning development's really lagging behind in that sense. Um, Partnership opportunities do exist, but with who, right? Then you start taking sides, and all those other things come up. Everyone has an opinion, so hey, the people who are in it for the Bitcoin are just going to continue being in it and just building anyway. Uh, Got introduced to this really cool lending protocol though, separate to Bitcoin on or associated with, but like just opportunity to bridge. It leads to like when we're talking about partnering with others, the bridging opportunity, taking Bitcoin to other chains and allowing for easier like lending protocols, for example, particularly built by Liquidity. So Felix has built a really interesting and cool setup there on Hyperliquid using Unit BTC or UBTC, and yeah, that synthetic US dollar and the ability to kind of interact very quickly with like Tether and take that out with variable rates, and then allowing you to kind of choose your rate as well. That's a really cool setup. Just saw it today. Tangle introduced it to me, and I'm interested to explore that a bit further, see what we can learn from there, incorporate back into our model here. Meanwhile, I think we're going to go ahead and do another 25K deal um, and keep pushing and learning and growing. Would really kind of just put it out there again. We're really looking for someone to build our community and get us get us out in the meme conversations already. Uh, I'll be learning more of that. And at the end of the day, there's, I guess, one thing came across my social today, and I was just like, look, the tech is gonna be cool to you when you build and you're the nerd or you're the founder, but most people don't care. People want, they want the problem solved, they want to be entertained, and they want to make money. And I I get it, or at least I conceptually get it. I might need to actually double down on getting that, but let's entertain people.